What kind of monster poisons a child's pool and thinks they can walk away unscathed? The summer heat clung to our little cul-de-sac like a fever. And my two kids, Ellie and Max, had spent weeks splashing in their inflatable pool, their laughter echoing through the backyard. It was the kind of joy that made you forget the world's sharp edges. But then the water turned cloudy. The kids started coughing, and I found the empty bleach bottle hidden in the bushes. My gut twisted. This wasn't an accident. This was Karen, our HOA's self-appointed dictator, the woman who'd been waging war on our family since we moved in. Her name wasn't just Karen, it was a warning. A storm cloud in human form. Her voice shrill enough to curdle milk. She'd been after us for months. Her clipboard a scepter. Her rules a noose. Our mailbox was half an inch too tall. Our grass was a shade too wild. And now, this. I stared at the pool. Its once clear water, now a sickly green, and felt rage coil in my chest like a snake ready to strike. I didn't know how far this would go, but I knew one thing. Karen had crossed a line, and I wasn't going to let her slink away. I marched to her manicured lawn, my boots crunching on the gravel, the weight of my husband's old 12-gauge shotgun in my hands. I wasn't planning to use it not yet, but its cold steel grounded me, a reminder that I wasn't powerless. Karen's house loomed at the end of the street, all white shutters and fake flowers, a shrine to her obsession with control. She was outside, barking orders at a landscaper who looked like he'd rather be anywhere else. "Karen!" I shouted, my voice cutting through the humid air. She turned, her eyes narrowing, that smug smirk of hers like gasoline on my fire. "You poisoned my kid's pool. Don't even try to deny it." Her laugh was sharp, a blade wrapped in honey. "Oh, Sarah, you're so dramatic. Maybe if you cleaned your yard, your kids wouldn't be swimming in filth." The landscaper backed away, sensing the storm brewing. I stepped closer, the shotgun still at my side, my heart pounding. I found the bleach bottle. "Karen, it's got your initials on it. You think you can mess with my kids and just walk away?" Her face twitched, just for a second, and I saw it guilt, buried under layers of defiance. She doubled down, her voice rising to a screech. "You're accusing me. Me. I keep this neighborhood from falling apart. Your kids are a menace, running around like wild animals. Maybe they needed a lesson." My blood ran cold. A lesson? My kids were 7 and 9. Their biggest crime splashing too loud or leaving a soccer ball in the yard. I tightened my grip on the shotgun, my voice low but steady. "You don't get to play God with my family. Karen." She stepped forward, unafraid, her bulk filling the space between us. "Go ahead, Sarah. Wave that gun around. You'll be the one in handcuffs by sundown." That's when I heard the crunch of tires on gravel. Sheriff Daniel's cruiser rolled up, his face grim as he stepped out. He'd known Karen for years, everyone did, but the look in his eyes told me he wasn't here to play her games. "Ladies," he said, his hand resting on his holster. "Let's calm this down. Sarah, put the gun down. Karen, you got something to say about this pool." Karen's bravado cracked. Just a hair. She stammered, her hands flailing. "Two didn't do anything. She's unhinged. Sheriff, look at her, threatening me." But I wasn't backing down. I pulled the bleach bottle from my pocket, its label scrawled with K.H. in black marker. "Found this in my bushes. Sheriff. Right by the pool. You want to explain that?" Karen. Her face paled, but she didn't answer. The sheriff's eyes flicked between us, his jaw tight. Karen, you know I've got to look into this. Bleach in a kid's pool ain't a prunk, it's a crime. She opened her mouth to protest, but the words died in her throat. For the first time, I saw fear in her eyes, and it felt like justice. But justice wasn't enough, not yet. I needed to know why. Why my kids? Why this far? The sheriff took the bottle, bagging it as evidence, and told us both to stay put while he called for backup. Karen's mask of control was slipping, her hands trembling as she clutched her precious clipboard. I could have walked away then. Let the law handle it. But something in me snapped. I stepped closer, my voice barely a whisper. What kind of person looks at two kids and thinks they deserve this? What's broken in you? Karen. She flinched, her eyes darting away. And for a moment, I saw something deeper than her usual venom, something raw, like shame. But then she straightened, her voice venomous again. You don't know what it's like, Sarah. Keeping this place perfect. Watching people like you ruin it. I shook my head, disgust replacing my anger. You're not saving anything. You're just tearing us down. That's when the twist hit, like a punch I didn't see coming. Another neighbor, Mrs. Carter, shuffled up, her face pale, her hands wringing. She was older, quiet, the kind of person who never got involved. Sarah, she said, her voice shaking. I saw something. Last week, at the HOA meeting. Karen was. She was crying in the bathroom. Said her husband left her. Said she's been losing control of everything. My stomach twisted. Karen, the unshakable tyrant, crying. It didn't excuse what she'd done, but it cracked open a window into her world, a world where control was all she had left. I looked at her, standing there with her clipboard, and for a split second, I didn't see a monster. I saw a woman drowning in her own misery, lashing out at my kids to feel something else. But that moment passed. My kids were still coughing. My pool was still poisoned. And I wasn't about to let pity cloud my resolve. The sheriff's radio crackled, pulling us back to the moment. Backup was on the way, and Karen's eyes darted like a cornered animal's. She wasn't used to losing. Not like this. Her voice dropped to a hiss, aimed at me. You think you're so perfect, Sarah. You think you're better than me. I didn't take the bait. This isn't about me, Karen. It's about what you did. You hurt my kids. You don't get to twist this. The sheriff stepped between us, his voice firm. That's enough. Karen, you're coming with me to answer some questions. Sarah, go home. Take care of your kids. I nodded, but my feet stayed planted. I needed to see this through. I needed to see her face the consequences. The confrontation erupted when Karen lunged for the bleach bottle in the sheriff's hand, a desperate move to destroy the evidence. You can't prove anything, she shrieked, her voice raw with panic. The sheriff grabbed her wrist, pulling her back, but not before she knocked the bottle to the ground, its cap cracking open, the sharp smell of bleach cutting through the air. I stepped forward, the shotgun still in my hands, my voice steady despite the chaos. You're done, Karen. You can't control this anymore. Her eyes locked on mine, wild with rage and fear. And for a moment, I thought she might charge me. But the sheriff was faster, cuffing her hands behind her back as she screamed about lawsuits and injustice. The neighbors who'd gathered Mrs. Carter, the landscaper, a few others watched in stunned silence. The cul-de-sac, once a quiet slice of suburbia, felt like a battlefield. Karen's empire of rules and fear crumbled as the sheriff led her to the cruiser. Her clipboard fell to the ground, its pages scattering in the wind, a fitting end to her reign. I watched her go, the weight of the shotgun suddenly heavy in my hands. I'd wanted to scare her, to make her feel the fear she'd inflicted on my kids. But now that she was gone, I felt hollow. Not victorious, just tired. The neighbors dispersed, whispering among themselves. And Mrs. Carter touched my arm. You did what you had to, Sarah. She's been terrorizing everyone for years. I nodded, but my mind was on Ellie and Max, still at home with my sister, their coughs lingering in my ears. I'd protected them, but at what cost? Had I become someone I didn't recognize, standing here with a gun in my hands? I walked back to my house, the shotgun now locked away, and found Ellie and Max curled up on the couch, their faces pale but their eyes bright. Mom, is the pool okay now? Max asked, his voice small. I knelt beside them, pulling them close. Not yet, buddy. But it will be. We'll make it right. That night, I drained the pool, scrubbed it clean, and ordered a new one. It wasn't just about the water, it was about washing away Karen's poison, her control, her cruelty. The neighborhood felt different after that. Quieter, but not in a bad way. The HOA meetings stopped being a dictatorship. People started talking, sharing stories of Karen's threats, her petty vendettas. She'd ruled by fear. But fear doesn't last when people stand together. Weeks later, I heard Karen had moved away. Her house sold to a young couple with a toddler. The sheriff's investigation confirmed the bleach was hers, and she faced charges, nothing major, but enough to strip away her pride. I didn't care about the punishment. What mattered was my kids, splashing in their new pool, their laughter louder than ever. I sat on the porch, watching them, and realized something. Strength isn't about holding a gun or winning a fight. It's about standing up, even when you're scared, even when the world feels like it's against you. It's about protecting what matters, no matter how small it seems. Karen thought she could break us, but she didn't know us. She didn't know me. And as the sun set, painting the sky in shades of gold, I felt something I hadn't in a long time: peace. We'd faced the storm and come out stronger. And that was enough. End.